Hello, folks. Kenn Rashad, HBCU Sports. Welcome to a special edition of HBCU Sports Live. Um, Let me just get right to it. When I created HBCU Sports back in 1997, which at the time was known as the Swag Page, it was done because at the time there was no mainstream media coverage on HBCUs by mainstream media outlets, and 27 years later, going on 27 years, thanks in large part to social media platforms and other, technological advances, uh, HBCUs are covered and discussed more than ever. Corporations, more than ever, are finally starting to realize that partnering and supporting HBCUs in various capacities is simply good business. We are witnessing growing sponsorships for HBCU conference football games. We're witnessing growing sponsorship for conference basketball tournaments and baseball tournaments. We've got softball tournaments underway right now for various conferences. We've got the Black College World Series that's about to come aboard. We've got the Celebration Bowl through ESPN that celebrates football. We've got basketball classics. I'm sorry, what's this? Okay. We've got basketball classics by Michael B. Jordan, and we've even got the HBCU All-Star Game, which and all of those events are great, and we deserve them. HBCUs deserve them. They're all great. However, despite the improvement we've witnessed with in HBCU media coverage and improvements that we've witnessed in corporate sponsorships, I personally believe that a void still exists. And so, the major announcement that I wanted to make, I believe, is a major one because there's nothing currently in place that does this. But coming in July, HBCU Sports is going to host the inaugural HBCU Sports Awards. Now, let me explain to you why I felt this endeavor was necessary. HBCU Sports as a news outlet, it is a news outlet that is not a PR firm. And we are obviously dedicated to providing news and telling stories of HBCUs, good, bad, or indifferent. And we find our time, we find in many instances, this outlet included, that we find ourselves where we're critical of we're critical of head coaches, we're critical of athletic administrators, fairly or unfairly, and we pounce sometimes. I believe, and in what I've learned in my nearly 30 years of doing this is that in getting to know some of these administrators, getting an opportunity to becoming more familiar with what they do. I've come to realize over the years that we really have no idea what these individuals have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. We are often asking these administrators to do way more with less. And there have been times when, our administrators have actually done more with less. And I think whether it's something that's grand or something that may very well be somewhat of, mundane in the greater scheme of things, I think these administrators, coaches, and student athletes deserve our praise. And I think that more often than not, they don't get it. And I think it's just simply time to recognize and celebrate these individuals for the work that they do. Now, let me explain how this process is going to work. Okay. We are going to this is going to be a virtual event. You guys may be aware, the great Jared Carter, formerly of HBCU Digest, had something similar along the lines with the HBCU Awards, and it was obviously done with the primary focus on, acknowledging those individuals in the world of academia. This is, in many instances, similar to that, but obviously we're going to focus on sports and the accomplishments not only of student athletes, head coaches, but most importantly, athletic administrators. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. We are going to announce, because right now we're looking at somewhere in the ballpark between 35 and 40 different categories that will, in various categories, that will award student athletes, that will award head coaches, and will obviously and will acknowledge athletic administrators. And we will announce all of the actual categories within the next week or two. Okay, the full list of all of those categories. Some of the categories, just to give you some idea, will include, for instance, for student athletes, football player of the year, men's and women's basketball player of the year, and even the signature award for male and female student athlete of the year. We are going to do the same for head coaches. There will be head football coach of the year, head women's and men's basketball coach of the year, and in all of the other sports, revenue generating and non-revenue generating. We will very well award, which will also include a lifetime achievement award for a coach. And in the area of administrators, we are going to nominate and we're going to announce programs, athletic program of the year. There will be an athletic director of the year, and we will even go so far as to announce an athletic conference of the year, as well as a conference commissioner of the year, and so forth. This is something that we think is very much needed. And so that's where we are. So in June, we will formally announce the nominees for each of those categories, and that will be done somewhere in the June timeframe. But the actual event will be in July 27th. Do know that this is a grassroots effort. Okay, there are no sponsors for this event, despite my best efforts over the years. This isn't something that we've just started. I mean, this is literally something that I have had a concept for well over 6-7 years, actually more than that. And it's a conversation that I even had with the late, great Eric Moore, who was on board with it. And it was something that he and I actually were going to do together. We were going to do together. But because we realized the amount of planning and effort that was going to be needed, and given what our current schedules were at that time and the other responsibilities that we had, we could just never really could get to the point to where we can just pull it off. But given where we are right now, given a lot of things that I've witnessed, I've come to the conclusion that something like this, as imperfect as it may be, I think there is enough in place to where we can pull this off and still do the ultimate thing in making sure that we award those individuals who deserve recognition and who deserve praise for their efforts. Okay. So, I'm asking you all for your support. This is, like I said, a grassroots effort. Not only, do we have the opportunity, this is going to be a costly endeavor. And if it means that we have to do all this by ourselves here at HBCU Sports, so be it in terms of footing the bills. But do know, we have to purchase awards. And when we're looking at somewhere between 35 and 40 awards, that's going to cost. And not only do we have to purchase them, we've got to make sure that they're sent to the various individuals who've earned them. And that's an additional expense. Uh, there are links right now in the description that you can utilize. You can make a donation directly to HBCU Sports through PayPal. We used to be able to accept Cash App, but some government regulations have put us in a position to where we can no longer do that. That's another story. But you can also visit the HBCU Sports Shop. Now, some time ago we announced that there was the announcement that we have at Amazon, and that's still in place. But unfortunately, there were some issues that allowed us or put us in a position to where we had to pivot. So we don't necessarily sell the officially licensed merchandise of HBCUs, but guess what? We've gone something better. We've actually got officially licensed HBCU Sports merch, which includes items such as this beautiful HBCU cap. We've got various sizes. We've got it in dark navy blue. We've got it in white. We've got, guess what? We've got t-shirts, and you see Kendrick wearing this all the time. We've got these beautiful royal blue HBCU Sports t-shirts. We've got these beautiful navy blue HBCU Sports long sleeve t-shirts. And of course, there's some other items that are going to be coming too. So there are a number of ways to support this effort. I've witnessed over the years and even recently that this space has been one that has been dominated to some degree by individuals who, while well-intended, to be honest with you, may not necessarily, I'm not going to say they don't have our best interests in heart, but, there are times where you have folks who kind of feel like they know more than we do. We've got individuals who have taken the time to label our administrators as being sellouts. We've had individuals within media who have labeled our HBCUs administrators as sharecroppers. And the very individuals who do that have little to no ties to HBCUs, but feel the need to leverage HBCUs when it suits them. And I'm not saying that, nothing's wrong with that. But my point is that sometimes those individuals with large platforms don't necessarily do us any favors, or they're doing a disservice especially when they don't have all of the details of the information or the information that they need to make those type of comments. So like I said, this is a true grassroots effort. I'm not going to hold you long, but I hope that you will find that this endeavor is worth your time. So please take a moment, support this endeavor. You can donate by going to hbcusports.com/donate. And you can also go to the shops at shops.hbcusports.com. Anything that you give would go a long ways in helping us to support this endeavor. And I'll leave it at that. So I'm trying to figure out if there's anything that I've missed out that I need to address. To you individuals who might very well be representing companies or corporations who would like to possibly sponsor this event, by all means, hit me up. I'm not hard to find. Let's talk. There's never been a better time to partner with HBCUs. And we're doing great things in this space. This is something that's near and dear to me. You guys know how I am. This is something that I do full time. This is not a side hustle. And I live, sleep, drink, and breathe HBCUs. And even I have been critical of them over the years. I've been critical of administrators, but I think what makes me a little different from everybody else is that it comes from a good place. So thank you for taking a few minutes to listen to the announcement. I hope you find that it is worthy of your time. And we'll talk next time. So God bless you.